Here are some starter builds that you guys can use. Note that these builds are accessible to use at level 20. To start, we can't ignore how unnecessarily OP these preset builds are. And I would say some of these builds are even better than the end game builds that you're going to find. For the Moonlight, this one's a pretty OP one, especially for center. It's got elite edges, 6'6", 210. Silver truck. I mean, elite edges with a power forward is kind of insane right now. Also, you've got 90 balance with 92 agility. And you've got gold elite edges on top of that. So it's kind of ridiculous how much this is there. And then 90 slap shot power, excel, and puck control. 90 body checking with silver truck. You've got 99 strength. I mean, 90 face off. This is definitely the more OP build to use, especially at the start. I wouldn't even know, like, this might be the build to use even over gold truck. I mean, I don't know. It is, you know, slow with 85, but the max that you can go with a build like this would be 90 speed, so you're only down by 5. The rest of this, you're pretty damn fast. When it comes to a power forward, this is probably as good as you're going to get, and it's a preset class. I wouldn't, however, use it probably for 6s because it's got, you know, really low defensive stats besides the body check. But the body check, you know, with 75 discipline, you can get penalized pretty damn easily, especially with elbowing calls, charging calls, checking from behind. Pretty much everything was getting called when I was using this build, so be wary when you use this in 6s because it may not be very optimal for that game mode. But 3s, this is probably as good as you're going to get. As far as hammer, this kind of is the same deal with that. Born leader is quite nice. It added a couple extra things for it. Instead of it just applying to a goal, like an energy boost after the goal, you now get a moderate energy boost for big hits and block shots. Well, with 99 body checking and 95 shot block, you could pretty much accomplish that really well. Also, you've got truculence and no contest, 2 very good traits to use on top of that. 88 speed is not too bad. 99 body checking, and it's got relatively decent stats. So this would be probably more optimal for a 6s centerman build if you want to use that now. It's also got 90 face off, so it's not like that's a drop off there, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's got the two-way mentality. It's got wrist shot at 90 for the power, 80 with the wrist shot accuracy, so it's not too bad, you know. We're looking at a pretty decent two-way type build here that's got really good lockdown capabilities. So I would definitely try this at center for 6s. And obviously for the bones, you've got in reverse, seeing eye, elite edges. Pretty good for 6s, I would say. Also good for 3s. You know, so you could definitely use this for both game modes. 90 speed, 90 excel, 99 defensive awareness, 90 stick checking. So it's very good in terms of lockdown. 97 agility on top of that with elite edges. So you're looking at a pretty damn quick build. Very, very versatile. The issue is the passing offensive awareness being kind of low. So manage that when it comes to your passes. If you're missing, if you're off the mark, I've got another build that would help with the low passing here, if passing is an issue for you. But use this for both game modes. Pretty lockdown build. Now, getting into my custom builds, I've got a puck moving defenseman build, 6'1", 160. It's got gold send it on, so this will help out with those breakout passes, and I would even combo this with icon passing. I think those go hand in hand with this type of build. Send it really helps with those types of long stretch passes, so it will help out if you're struggling with breakout passes. And then you've got stick 'em up and no contest. Now you get stick 'em up, I'm not sure, around like level, I want to say 15. No contest, you're able to get this at level 20. So obviously you can't use this if you're lower than that, but you're going to have to just work towards that. I would say use the preset till you get to around this level, then start using this build if you want. Control passing, positional IQ, and then now you see the stats here. Very solid. It's just kind of more of the way I put these builds together in 23. I would say it works in 24. And this is sort of my play style that goes with it. Very high passing, very moderate, you know, offensive awareness. Body checking's pretty good. Stick checking's a little bit lower, but you got that silver stick 'em up, and then 87 defense awareness. This is kind of your own opinion. If you're missing a lot of intercepts, raise this. If not, then lower it or keep it the way it is I have here. And then everything else is kind of there. Discipline, I would say manage it yourself. If you're getting a lot of penalties, raise this. If not, lower it. Keep it the way I have it, and then everything else is kind of your opinion, whether you want to copy or paste it. But I would say it's very good. It allows you to be versatile. It allows you to really stay on target with those stretch passes, and it's just a very good solid lockdown build. This build, two-way forward, we've said last year, we'll say it again, this could be used at center. This could also be used on defense, so it goes hand in hand. 6'2", 190. Gold stick 'em up is incredibly useful for this type of build. Tape to tape, no contest. That's kind of just what I have currently. Again, both of these can be used. You could replace this one with Send It if you wanted to have, you know, to use this on defense for stretch passes, or tape to tape for just in the offensive zone. It works very well there too. Control passing, position IQ, again, not much else that you can really do with these types of builds. It's just kind of what they give you right now. Again, tape to tape and no contest are accessible at level 20. So this is where you really can't do much with this build until you get there. So again, I would say if you want to use this at center, maybe use one of the other two presets before you get to this. And then if you're using this on defense, you can, because you've got gold, stick them up. Just note that you don't have too many superstar abilities to choose from. Is everything really here? Yoink. I don't really know if that's useful. And Send It, I'm not entirely sure when we got this, but it wasn't very early. Or maybe it was. I don't actually recall. But here again, you know, if you want to use this on defense, you can then lower the face-offs. You know, maybe apply it more for your deking or your discipline, so that it helps out in those areas. Now this build here, you would use this at center, and you would only use it if you wanted to have a very fast build. Beyond that, and I wouldn't even really say this is really all that fast. It's either for speed, or you want to make passes in the offensive zone. Really make sure that your passes are on target. Beyond that, this build right now, as it stands, is not going to be that good until you get this with elite edges all the way over here, and then you get apply 2 for your boost to speed or acceleration, or both, right? That will allow this to be 94 speed on top of elite edges, to making this exactly the way it was OP in 23. But beyond that, right now, I don't really know. You can use this build. It's not like you can't. Again, level 20, that's where you get these two traits. And then tape to tape is still very useful. None of these other ones I see is really meaningful right now until you get to, obviously, end game with elite edges. So right now, it's kind of take it as you will. If you want to use this, it's either for the speed or the passing. And now for a winger build, sniper, obviously close quarters got a nerf, but I would still say it's useful. Wouldn't say it's just incredibly ineffective now. It's got a slight nerf, but it's still there. Make it snappy is also good. I've seen a lot of guys use this. It's actually quite nice. So one of these two traits you can use. Other than that, you're waiting till level 50 to get 1T. None of these ones really are useful. But so choose between one of these two. Tape to tape. And I actually put Born Leader here. Again, we're at level 20, so we don't have many superstar abilities here to choose from. I went with 194 with the weight, because really, again, you're not going to be that fast with this build right now. I mean, even if you had 92, it's the same thing with the Playmaker. You could even make that at 194 as well. But I wouldn't really go with the Playmaker so much. This makes it, you know, quick. It kind of trying to withstand some checks, right? Because you don't want to be just that feather right now. Even though the body checking is not so, you know, it's very tough right now to line up body checks. You can still get knocked down pretty easily, I'd say, with a 160 build. As of right now, because you don't have that speed boost that you would get towards the end, I would just say go with 194 to help with a little bit more stability and balance on the build. And then everything else here, defense, you're pretty much going to be lackluster with it. So I would say apply a lot then to your passing, offensive awareness, maybe body checking, or maybe you can lower the body check and apply it to stick checking if you want to be able to poke check. But you really can't do much with the sniper in terms of that. So I would say it's best to just max out what is there. Beyond that, I wouldn't suggest using sniper as a center. So that's why this was lowered all the way, so I could apply more for deking. 80 discipline is not going to be very good for this. So obviously you're not going to be that good defensively, but hey, if you score, you got Born Leader, you can apply more an energy boost to your team. You're able to make passes and also receive them for a shot. So a lot of good stuff here, still capable within this build at this stage, but it's pretty much what you can work with right now. And then I'm going to throw this in here. It's kind of a, you know, a fun build if you want to be a guy that tries to learn some of the deeks in this game. 6'1", 194 ankle breaker. Now you can go ankle breaker or puck on a string. Both of these are very good. Then obviously wouldn't go anywhere till you get probably to elite edges. Beyond that, it's probably not really much else with this build. Tape to tape, and I put shrug it off here because obviously there's really nothing else that you can really use that would go with this build. Maybe, I mean, I wouldn't even really suggest putting on crease crush or anything like that. But it allows you to shrug off some hits because you're going to be trying to deke out some guys. If you may take a couple more hits. It's probably why. Probably good to combo something like that with this now. Control passing, agile, deking. Now that may be overkill with deking. You can maybe lower this if you want, if you think it's too OP and you want to put it towards something else, maybe like discipline. Wouldn't suggest using center for this build, so face-offs go all the way down. But it's still, you know, 90. Everything here is pretty much exactly what I got here. Again, high with offensive awareness and passing. You've got slightly better defense than the sniper, but not quite as good as the playmaker. So again, you're going to be still pretty weak in this area. But again, you're going to be trying to go for a lot of dekes and some nice clips. So that's the only purpose for this build. That's all there really is to this build.